guys, new year, new start. I'm not a massive revolution lover personally. I don't really love New Year's resolutions. However, I really love setting goals. And I think it's very different setting goals versus setting revolutions, because you don't have the same pressure once you slip up. When you set a goal, it's something that you want to achieve, and if you don't hit it, it's okay, but it's something that you're working towards. So obviously there will be dips and furrows on the way, but yeah, I definitely find that is much more achievable than revolutions. So I'm not a massive New Year's revolution maker, but something I do that really helps me is I set a yearly goal and then I set monthly goals. So you'll often see when I'm doing up my budgets that I will have goals for each month of the year, and then I also have my overall yearly goal. So I did set my yearly financial goals last year, and I will put a link to that full video down below. But I pretty much achieved every financial goal I had for last year. The only thing I didn't achieve was I had set in plan that I wanted to read 4 financial books. I think I read 1. I just didn't have any time. So yeah, I didn't achieve that goal. But I did achieve all of my sinking funds. We did become debt free last year, which was brilliant. That was our overall goal for last year. And we also brought in more income because I was lucky enough to be able to make some sort of income from social media. So that's been amazing. That's really helped us on our journey. So this year we have 3 top financial goals that we're going to be working towards. So the first financial goal that we want to achieve in 2023 is to be able to have a fully funded extra emergency fund. So that is enough in our emergency fund on top of the 1,000 that we already have, that would cover about 3 months expenses for our family. So that's just the bare bones. So if you're at the stage where you have cleared off debt and you have your emergency fund in place, this is maybe something you might want to look at as well. So this is the bare minimum. So this is our full expenses for 3 months. That would cover our mortgage, it would cover food, it would cover our bills like our electricity, our Wi-Fi, and it would mean cutting everything else out. So that would be cutting out Netflix, it would be cutting out all of the luxuries. This would just be in case something was to happen. It also would cover things like the car suddenly breaking down or crashing or something, and say the insurance didn't cover enough. We've a very old car as our family car. I'll get more into that later. I have a plan in place for that as well. But my car is 14 years old. So there's potential that if we were in an accident, they'd write off the car. My car is not worth a massive amount, and we may struggle to buy another car if that car was written off. So we basically want to have some more money aside, obviously with car prices and everything going up. So yeah, so that's going to be 3 months of household expenses, and that is in a separate savings account. So we currently have our emergency fund divided in half. So our €1,000 emergency fund, we have €500 each put into a separate savings account that we can access at any time. So some people might put in a Revolut, or but we actually have a savings account attached to our bank accounts. We keep separate bank accounts. I've talked about this in the past. For some people that might be weird. It just works for us. It's easier for us to understand what's going where when we have our finances separated. So we still do, like, obviously work together, but we put €500 each into separate savings accounts. So that just means that if something was to happen, I can access that money immediately, but I also am not tempted to spend it because it's not in my account. So then our second financial goal. So our first financial goal is to have that extra emergency fund. Our second financial goal is then to work towards saving for a new family car. So yeah, we've had troubles with our car this year. Anyone who's been following along knows that we had quite a few times we had to bring the car to the garage. We had times where it wouldn't start. Like even this morning it struggled to start. There's a mystery problem with the car that still hasn't been fixed, where it puts out a lot of blue smoke, and it's been even to the main dealer and they didn't really give us a great reply about what's wrong with that. They just said it needed more looking at, and it cost enough money for them to look at it the first time, so we refused to have that happen. So yes, basically, long story short, we're more than likely going to have to replace the car at some point in the next year or so. So I am hoping to have most of that saved this year, if not all of it. So that is one of our top 3 goals, is to have started saving. Basically, it depends on when the car goes, how much that budget is. So I have a rough idea. I'd like to save €8,000 and pay that towards a new car. Now, always, when I'm saying new car, I mean new to us. We've never bought a car any newer than about 5 years old. They nearly always have been about 5 years old when we've gotten them. So, and we obviously have 3 kids, and one is in a car seat, as he is nearly 2. He'll be 2 in 2 months' time. So he'll be in a car seat for a good bit longer. So we need to make sure that it's big enough for 2 teenagers and a toddler in a car seat. So yeah, it needs to be big enough. And yeah, so basically it depends on when the car gives up. If the car lasts the whole year, then we will be much closer to saving that full amount, and if it lasts a bit longer, we might even be able to pay a bit more. But that car has to be saved for in cash. So yes, that's absolutely like essential, especially after clearing that whole debt last year. We want to never be in that position again. And then our third financial goal that we are saving towards in 2023 is to complete the upstairs bathroom renovation. So it is taking a long time for 2 reasons. The primary reason being money, as we are cash flowing everything, obviously. And the second reason being time. The bathroom upstairs is beside my toddler, who is a very light sleeper. So it has to be done during like the weekend. It can't even be done in the evenings. So currently I will show a little video here of what it looks like now. We currently have the tiles down mostly, except around where the shower will be. It's going to be a double shower, so there's quite a big space there at the end that needs to be tiled still. The toilet is in and the sink is up. The sink is only up temporarily. That whole wall needs to be plastered, and then the back wall we need to put on a water repellent plasterboard, basically, before we tile it. So there'll be like the two walls that the shower will be against, and then we will be tiling on top of that. We have the tiles, so that cost has been paid for. We have these lovely mint tiles. Again, I'll show that on screen, and that will be going on the whole back wall, a little section where the shower will be on the other wall, and then also the splashback at the sink. And then we have already bought also a massive mirror for the bathroom there for above the sink, so that like temporary little mirror will be taken out. We've got this big mirror because myself and my husband are tall, so we need it to be suitable for us as well as anyone who is not quite as tall as us, to be able to use that bathroom. And then it's just a matter of painting the whole room. Anywhere that's not been tiled, it's just going to be white. I want those mint tiles to kind of be the showstopper in the room. And then it's just storage. So that shouldn't cost much more money. I think we still need to get an adhesive, or a grout actually, a grout for the tiles that are going on the wall. We did have one, and unfortunately it's taken so long, it's gone out of date. So we're not going to get it until he's actually tiling that. And then we also need to buy a frame for the shower. So I discussed that in a previous video, and I agree with what you were all saying. I'm going to go with the chrome. The black is just too high in maintenance. So I'm going to go with a chrome shower enclosure doors. And yeah, so that's what's going there. So all we need to buy is grout, the shower doors, and paint really. So we have the shower tray, we have the actual shower. The only thing that we possibly may have to buy for the shower, we won't know till we put it in, is a pump, because it depends on how powerful the water is coming down there, as it's really close to where the water tank is in our attic. So it may not be enough of a fall for it to be enough pressure, so we may have to put a pump in. So we'll see. But apart from that, it's just time. So yeah, that is our third goal. So our 3 goals, just to recap, because there's a lot to take in there, is to have that extra emergency fund. It's also to have started saving for our family car, and then it is also to finish that bathroom renovation. So they are our top 3 financial goals. Obviously, we also in 2023 want to continue with our sinking funds. This is, gosh, I think about our 5th year of sinking funds now. Yeah, sinking funds is a game changer. If anybody has not started doing sinking funds, I'm going to do another video on that this year, explaining the power of sinking funds. But yeah, that is obviously also one of our top goals. So just to run through them quickly with you, we have a family wedding in February this year, and this budget for the family wedding is including the accommodation. We want to have saved €400. So that is everything we are going to be saving towards at the start of this year, because that is about 6 weeks away. So we need to have that saved for pronto. So that's €400 we have as our budget for that sinking fund. So next sinking fund is holidays. Exciting news, at Christmas we were able to use our flight voucher that we had from the pandemic, and we were able to put that voucher as well as the money we already had in our sinking funds, in our holiday sinking funds, towards flights. So we have our flights booked for Spain. So we're so excited. I was able to surprise the family on Christmas Day and say to them that we would be going to Spain. So we need to obviously start saving for everything else towards the holiday. Now, disclaimer, we have the accommodation taken care of as it is a family villa, and the villa comes with a car. So we have to still pay for a taxi to and from the villa. So we'll need to save towards that. And then we'll also need to save towards spending money and eating out. We generally try to still be quite frugal there. But yeah, I am looking to save about 600 towards that holiday. I'm hoping we won't spend it all. But yeah, I just want to have myself covered there. Then birthdays, that is a sinking fund that goes throughout the year. I save a bit more towards the kids' birthdays, especially the older two who are now teenagers. Well, one nearly teenager. Their presents cost more and look smaller. So I am saving 800 towards birthdays, and that will be throughout the year. I prioritise it the months where it's getting closer, and I leave off the months where there's less birthdays. We have one birthday right at the end of February, and we have one right at the start of March in our house. So yeah, I will have to start saving towards birthdays straight away. Then back to school, I had a saving goal of 850 last year, and I'm going to continue with that. A lot of the costs that I had last year of uniform for secondary school, I hopefully won't have as many next year. Now buses were paid for this year, and the government announced free transport, and I don't know whether or not that will be the case next year. So I am going to presume it's not the case, and we'll see how we go with that budget. I may have to save a little bit more. So then Christmas, we had a budget of 1,500, which we achieved this year for Christmas, and it was absolutely perfect. Absolutely amazing. I was able to buy everything I needed. I think I had a leftover €50, which I was then able to treat the family to takeaway for the new year, which was lovely. So yeah, that is an absolutely perfect amount for Christmas for our family. Obviously your family may need more or less in any of these sinking funds, but this is just to give you an idea of our targets. Health and braces. My daughter still hasn't started on her braces yet, and it's simply because she's waiting for one of her teeth to descend that needs to be used for her twin block, which she is starting with first before she goes into full braces. And yeah, I'm hoping in spring this year she'll be starting on her braces journey. The goal this year is to try and save about 800 towards her braces, hopefully a bit more, but we'll see, and that'll be throughout the year. Finally, I have created a sinking fund of combined home and car maintenance. It just makes no sense for me to have two separate categories there. I'm just going to combine them because it depends which goes first, you know. So I obviously have my emergency fund if it's an emergency, but there is home and car maintenance that we are planning on doing anyway. So things like changing tires, things like buying pieces for the bathroom renovation. I want to have money set aside for that. They are expenses I know are coming, so I need to start saving towards them, and the goal is to save about 500 in the entire year. And then finally, my last financial goal for 2023 is on my income. So I was very lucky to be able to have an income from my social media in 2022, and that is continuing into 2023. So I'm delighted with that. And my goals for 2023 income wise is to hopefully monetize my YouTube again. Unfortunately, I had my monetization taken away due to an error with my website, as I used AdSense on my website and on my YouTube, and I am in the process of trying to appeal that. So if anyone else is in the position where they have monetized their YouTube, it's something I would say to you to watch out about. Maybe look at using something other than AdSense for your website. because yes, I basically had an influx of people to my website as I gave away a free printable, and it knocked my monetization off my website. So and in turn then my YouTube, because it was all the same account. So I would just say to you, if you are in a position where you are monetizing a channel, maybe that's something to look at. So yeah, I'm hoping to appeal that in 2023 and hopefully get back monetization on YouTube. It was never going to be a massive amount, but it's just upsetting. So then also my second income goal for 2023 is to try and get multiple streams of income, and that kind of goes with the YouTube. I don't want to rely on any one stream of income, as I am obviously hoping to work on more financial stability for my family. So yes, they are my financial goals for 2023. If you have created any financial goals and you want to make yourself accountable, please leave them below in the comments. I would love to read them. I'd love to read back next year and see how you got on with your financial goals. It's something I should have asked you to do last year. But yeah, I would just love to see how you're getting on with setting your goals. I will have monthly goals in every budget, and I have a budget going up in a few days for you, so you can see my first budget of January 2023. And yeah, I will chat to you all very soon. If you're not subscribed, please do. It means you'll be able to see more of my videos and catch up more on what is going on with my own budget. I keep a lot of my personal numbers and figures here. I know a lot of you follow me on, say, Instagram and TikTok, and you will see less of my personal budget there. I feel much more comfortable chatting on YouTube about my personal finances, as you're able to see everything more as a whole rather than just a cash stuffing or a snapshot. It's harder to understand what's going on. So yeah, and I will chat to you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.